It is a very cute story and we are gonna read it together. Now let's do this. Anyone but Bear. Suzy Senior and Dubravka Kolanovic. Ready? I am ready. This book is dedicated to Clive. We missed him. Scamp publishing. Okay, ready? Anyone but Bear. Let's do this. Fox was planning a party. He was so excited. There would be snacks and games and moonlit fun with his neighbors. But who should he invite? He made a little list. Now guys, there's a party. And well, Mr. Fox is very excited because he's going to invite all his neighbors and there are going to be snacks, balloons, games and everything. But the question is, whom should he invite? He needs to prepare the list. The list, everybody. Okay, let's see whom. Deer? Yes, definitely. Everybody loved Deer. She was so beautiful and interesting. Squirrel? Of course. He was always quite busy digging in the dirt and burying nuts. But Fox really liked him. Squirrel always brought snacks too, and the mud was easy enough to wipe off. Now guys, there are two definite and two sure guesses. One are Bear and Squirrel. They are invited. And their names are going on the list, guys. What about Bear? No. Anyone but Bear, Fox muttered. Bear was fierce looking and terrifying, and well, he never invited Fox to his parties. Anyway, Bear lived all the way across the forest. Maybe foxes and bears aren't just, meant to be friends, thought Fox. Now, guys, there's a bear, and he looks fierce, and he looks huge. And well. And also, he lived all the way across the forest. He may be not invited, and he's not included in the list. Fox trotted along, happy, making plans. Suddenly, his furry ears pricked up with a whoosh and a clatter. A shower of rocks tumbled from the mountainside. Fox leaped sideways, but not fast enough. Thwomp! A rock bounced off his head. Whack! Another hit back his leg. Uh-oh, guys, there's been a rock shower. And he is injured. With all that excitement and all that, party invitation that he needs to hand out, he's been too excited and now he's injured, guys. There's been a rock shower and he's injured. Uh-oh. And he looks really injured, and those all are wounds, guys, as you can see. Mr. Fox is very sad. Fox fell to the ground at the side of the path. His head felt so heavy. Ouch! His leg couldn't seem to move either. Oh! He cried out, but eventually his head dropped and his eyes closed. Oh, Mr. Fox, poor Mr. Fox, guys, he just fell. All that rock shower and all that injuries, he just fell. Ouch! No! He was too excited for the party and he just missed the showering rocks. Guys, and I think he just closed his eyes and I think he's resting, but he is badly injured. For hours, Fox lay there in the forest as the sun began to sink in the night. Then he heard something. Fox heard someone coming around the corner. Wonderful! It was Deer, and Deer always seemed to know just what to do. Now, guys, he's just laying there. He can't even move his head. He can't move his arms or legs. He's just injured. And there's someone he knew, someone he was hoping to invite for his party, just wandering there. And that's Mr. Deer. Or Miss Deer, guys. That's Miss Deer. But can you believe it? Deer didn't even stop. She noticed Fox lying bedraggled and dirty and clearly in pain. Oh, what a mess! Her nose wrinkled. I shouldn't really be seen with anybody in that state. Gracefully, Deer turned away and chose another path through the forest. Now, guys, dear, Miss Deer here, as beautiful as she looked, well, she just didn't care at all. She just gracefully turned away and chose another path, leaving Mr. Fox behind. Well, that must be very devastating for Mr. Fox that he was lying there in pain, and then someone he was wishing to invite in his party just turned away. That's turned away. Poor Fox, still he lay there, injured and sore. He felt a few flakes of snow fall on his ragged fur. Then scramper, 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 scramper. Guess what? Squirrel came around the corner. Now, guys, Squirrel was number 2 guest. Number 2 that he liked for his invitation. Now, let's see what he does. Is that Fox? Squirrel wondered. He came a little closer. Huh, it really is, he decided. But then Squirrel glanced at the pile of nuts he was carrying. He murmured. There could be dangerous beasts around, and if I put these nuts down, they might be stolen or more rocks might fall and I might get hurt too. Snaking his fluffy tail, Squirrel scooted off through the forest. Now, guys, here Mr. Squirrel is all about taking care of his nuts, and he also left poor Mr. Fox there lying in pain because he couldn't help but worry about his own nuts and not help Mr. Fox, guys. And there again, he still is laying there on the ground. Oh dear, would anyone ever help? Now the snow was falling faster around Fox, and then, tut, someone very large was coming around the corner. Fox's eyes opened very wide. Now there is someone huge with a large bouncing noise coming towards him, and that's very terrifying because he was not able to run. He's just shaking in pain, and there's nobody there, and the snow is falling and it's getting cold. A big scratchy paw felt heavy on his leg, and a huge, hairy, scary face loomed right in front of his nose. Oh, help! It could only be Bear. Fox yelped and tried to struggle. Oh no, that's Mr. Huge Bear that I'm trying to ignore all this time, and he's here. He's trying to do something for me. Oh no, what is he doing? What is he doing? Why are you coming near to me? And he's just so trying to struggle, guys. Let's see what he's going to do. But quickly, Fox's panic began to fade away because the big face looking down at him wasn't snarly and scary. In fact, the face was smiling kindly, and the huge scratchy paw was carefully checking Fox's injury. Now, guys, Mr. Bear, no matter how fierce he looks, no matter how huge he is, he's such a cuddly and kind animal, as you can see, and his kindness just reflects in his eyes as he's caring for poor little Fox who's injured, and he's just giving him a big mama bear hug and trying to check his injuries. Before he knew it, those great big pair paws had scooped him up and were gently carrying Fox home. Now, guys, he didn't even mention anything. He just helped Mr. Fox, who was in very big agony with his injuries, and he just picked Mr. Fox, and he's trying to take him home. He's just trying to carry him home. And it's just a random act of as you can see, what a big, 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 big mama bear kindness, as you can see. And they look at the eyes. Their eyes are both filled with love. Back at Fox's den, Bear made Fox comfortable. He even fetched food and water and brought it back for Fox. And then he read a story to the baby fox cubs and stayed all through the night to make sure Fox was safe and his cubs were sleeping. That's a mama bear, guys, as you can see. Mama bear coming to the rescue. Mama bear, as you can see, he's such a sweetie. He's just taking care of Mr. Fox here, bringing him fruit, hot cocoa, and reading bedtime stories for the little ones. He's such a kind-hearted big mama bear, as you can see. As you can see, it's just love and kindness is all around Fox's den, and his injuries are healing. His injuries are healing just with all those showering love from a complete stranger. A stranger he wished to ignore at the beginning when he was making the list for his party. And then, as you can see, his thoughts, his mind, his love, his heart, it just changed when he's seeing the love from Mr. Bear here. When daylight came, Bear waved goodbye and started out through the snowy forest for home. As you can see, look at this. He even dressed his Mr. Fox's arms and legs, and he made him hot cocoa and gave him medicine and took care of little foxes. And then, well, that's a job well done. And he's just returning home saying goodbye. But Fox never forgot the love that Bear had shown him. Anyone could have stopped to help, but Bear actually did. As you can see, he will never forget that kindness, because he was lying there in the cold, in pain, unable to move, worrying about his little fox children, worrying about them, that they were alone and he was unable to move, and nobody helped but big mama bear himself. As you can see, anyone could have helped, anybody could have stopped to help, but Bear actually did. Bear actually did, guys. Bear actually did. This is such a good book. A still stories based on the parable of the Good Samaritan. Parable of Good Samaritan, kindness. We are sometimes told to love our neighbor, but what does that really mean? What does that really mean when someone says love your neighbor? Who even are our neighbors? Our friends or the people next door? What about people from farther away or who seem a bit different from us? What about those people? Now, this story helps us think about the answers. It surely did help us think about the answer, guys. No matter how someone looks, even if he or she looks big or fierce or different or unusual, well, we should not judge them by their looks. As you can see, kindness and caring can be found in the most unexpected places, and then it can shower us with love and support, just like Bear did. Anyone, the story title says anyone but Bear, anyone but Bear help Mr. Fox here heal and heal and heal. He is so loved, he feels so loved, and then he learned a big lesson on kindness because of Bear.